Alrighty, everybody, this is a basic top floor defense for Oregon. Start with general map terminology. This here, white stairs, leads into dorms. This room here is kids. Big window right here. Games. And right in this corner is like the default plant spot. You can also plant up here on this table as well. A little bit more risky because you can get shot from more angles from like kids and dorms. This is attic. These are the attic head holes that launch into trophy and master. And this also is just attic, and this connects back to the second floor of tower. Attic window. And then you have trophy here. And then this is master. Inside this castle barricade here is the main wall that the most attacks will come through. Some can come through attic though, you need to be aware of that. You have armory or main stairs, whichever you call it. This is armory, and then using this you can kind of play these head holes here. The general idea of this is you want to keep both your main walls closed or reinforced for as long as possible, and not give up like attic map control or master map control really easily. That's what these head holes here in attic are for. And then you also have your armory player that you'll need a castle if you're going to play armory, and Jaeger ADSs YMI, if you're going to play this armory. They can also contest this master, and then you can castle off into games, the reinforcement on games wall, just to make sure the attack, they can't easily get that wall open. From here, like I said before, the attic player is going to be mostly denying trophy and any entry. Another thing you can do is reinforce off all of attic, open up above if you're not playing an armory player, and then if you want to throw a C4 above there and throw it over into trophy if you have a C4 banana.
Oh, I know.
You want to throw one over top? Oh, you don't?
No.
So yeah, you can throw a C4 over top of this attic wall if you have it reinforced, because if you give up attic, they can easily open it up, walk right through with a Buck, Ash, Zofia, a lot of operators, and take attic control super easily, especially if they have this back wall open. So just another piece to it, but that's only if you don't have the armory player holding down that side. Next, another good spot, you can kind of sit on this bomb chassis here, get a nice angle holding white stairs. Banana, if you want to come hold this angle, it's right on that corner of the bomb chassis, like real close. So stand up on it, like coming in there, peeking that, like that's a tough shot to hit, especially if you only see them this much of them, but they can see a good chunk of you. And then this player here can help out, hold master, hold bunk window, and help the player that's going to be ultimately playing behind those bunk beds there, right where Banana's at. And this player, his job is to not swing this window and die. If you can get a free pick, but don't die. You're just contesting it if they hop in, because you're going to have your kids player swinging that as well. Another thing to note, you want to bring some sort of traps or denial just to give you some info. So I've got a proximity alarm on top of white, and then a proximity alarm on top of main stairs, just to let this attic player know, or not attic, armory player know, hey, somebody's coming up my stairs, get on a different angle rather than sitting here and contesting like this and just getting shot from the stairs. And then if they either take attic or this main wall, if you have this open, you can kind of play like right here and contest attic. Don't swing it. It's a hard, if you're not comfortable swinging it, don't swing it, because a lot of times you're going to be at a disadvantage, because a majority of your upper body is going to be showing from this angle as they're looking down onto you. Mostly upper body. It's a harder angle to peek, but if they do get that control, you can play here. Just got to be wary of these head holes here if your armory player is dead. And then if you need to, you can always fall back into kids and play attic from back here. Ultimately, attic is something you want to hold on to as long as possible, and don't give it up until you have to. And like I said, default plan is here. So if they do end up getting this wall and they have no pressure on white, your dorms or bunks player can come deny plant from here. Always check your angle as you're coming in. And if they do have somebody on white, typically a roamer, will come below from anywhere. Either they're playing like tower, kitchen side, come up here and they can slow walk up, swing this hole if nobody's watching there. That's all situational. But yeah, that's a general idea for the top floor hold on Oregon. This is the like pretty basic Oregon basement defense. So you have main hatch right around there, laundry stairs, it's the laundry. This comes into laundry, like these are technically laundry storage, this is laundry room. You have supply. I've never called it supply, kind of just play here if you can, but this like technical term, supply, can hold laundry and some a freezer. Then you have elbow here, which holds bunker. This is bunker, the bunker like outside. Every attack, I guarantee you every round there will be somebody coming from there. It's boiler. This is pillar right here. It's a strong point of the defense. Then you have electric. This is another hatch they can come from. You got to reinforce both these hatches, and I would recommend denying them with a cade. And then you have freezer. A nice little angle you can get on freezer here by standing on these boxes there, watching freezer stairs. As an unsuspecting attacker comes down, then you get your free kill for the round. You would swap with me, show you what the angle looks like. Hold on. Pretty free kill, and then if you don't kill them somehow there, you can hit them with a little swing down there. You also have a cam in freezer for some intel. There's a hatch you can get in freezer. If you have the time and people to get it, I'd recommend it, but if you're not with a full 5 stack, it's typically pretty hard to get and get back to site and fully set everything up. Some positions to hold in basement, or actually I'll hit some reinforcements. You need to reinforce this wall and electric. This wall leading to elbow. This wall and supply, and then both your hatches. And then this freezer wall here, and make head holes where you see him at on my screen. So some key positions to hold is this spot on elbow here. You can play this like a smoke or somebody just to deny people coming in from bunker. If you stay there, you also have a player playing here in electric. Not gonna lie, this is probably one of the harder spots to play in the game. A lot of people that play bunker are like cracked out of their minds, so one of the more difficult spots to play, but you can, your main goal here is just to deny the entry. You'll have your player in elbow helping you out with that, so if you need to fall off this angle, your player in elbow can extend out and get a crossfire here and pinch them. Another thing, you can fall off, play back in here. Just be wary of the head holes here. I'll get to that in a second. Fall back, play back into here, and if you need to, play near this bomb chassis. You have a nice one-way here on some feet holes. They'll either have to bucket, ash it, Sophia, whatever, to get that wall open, or they'll be stuck with a one-way here with feet holes. Another key spot is this angle, watching tower stairs. This is a good little angle. If you open it up a little bit higher across the top there, you won't be as visible, but still a nice little angle to hold. If you want to go up to the stairs there, kind of get a view of what somebody would look like coming down. Like you're holding there, and then like they can see you, but you can also see them clearly. Nice angle to hold. Um, Good for late round contesting. And the last key spot is probably the most important spot of the defense is pillar. Your main goal here is to buy time. Don't let them enter boiler, and then contest these stairs here. For this site, you also need a Jaeger, Wamai, whatever, just to help this pillar player out, and the elbow player. If they do end up taking bunker here, typically they'll probably get it with 30 to 45 seconds left if you hold good crossfires and such. You can just run back, reinforce this wall here, and then play it as if it was never open, and get on your angles, such as holding this bomb chassis, C4 over the top. Default plant is usually here, if they can get there. And C4 over the top, like if it was bad C4, but, you know, it's right over top. That's free kill every time. And then your freezer player, if nobody's coming freezer, they can fall off this, either push deeper into freezer and make this a vault hole to play this main hallway in main stairs holding in freezer, or they can push out to this hallway and hold somewhere around here, helping your pillar player out if your pillar player needs to fall back. But this is a really strong site. Really just got to make sure you get those hatches so they can't just drop electric real easy. But really all it comes down to is holding time, not overextending, and then falling back and knowing what angles to play like this. And then you're free kill every game. Cashback guaranteed if you don't get one. And then main stairs, last piece. You just have somebody playing around here. If they come down main stairs, they need help, they say something, freezer player checks freezer's clear, and then they can come help here. Then also hold this angle here if they do push in, and while they're shooting there, freezer player has a free kill right there. That's pretty much all for the basement defense. Alright, for the last site on Oregon, you're either going to have the choice between kitchen and meeting, or kitchen and, I can't remember the other room, kitchen and this room right here, kitchen and dining, yeah. The way kitchen meeting plays, it's, I'd say strategically, a lot more complex than kitchen dining, because there's much more that goes into it. Similar like concepts, ideas, but strategically a lot more that goes into this site. But I think it ultimately works out a little better. So for the main part of kitchen and meeting, you're gonna have to have top control. If you don't have top control, you might as well not go this site, because it's never gonna work out in your favor. You're gonna have 2 to 3 players up top, and they're gonna play this almost like they're defending this, like a the top floor bomb site up here. So recommend, you don't need a castle, but castle off big, and then you'd have somebody playing attic, and then if you have the 3 people, you're gonna play. I'm lagging. If you have the people, you're gonna play another person either in games area or kids, or they can kind of lurk around the white and come help as needed. You're gonna pretty much close off all of small tower and forget about it. Let them take small tower, it's no big deal. If you're gonna lose it eventually, it's really easy to take. And you can pop this hatch and test that door. Can get shot from there, so you gotta be careful. Over this site, like I said, top control is essential. If they take this, they take attic, you need to fall back and just hold top as long as you can. All of B is soft above it, so if you're playing in there, you need to be wary of that if they do secure top control. And they can also, once they plant, they can play vert above the above any plant spots in B. So keep that in mind. Drop down to the site here. Some attic angles you can hold is through this hatch. And contest things like the drops over here and stuff. So our next player is going to hold right on the stage in meeting. They're going to hold kind of like an angle here and support these doors. You can barricade, castle, whatever. Those doors behind you leading into meeting from the main lobby. The reason we have footholds here is typically if you reinforce both of them off, it's real easy to get this wall and the defense kind of falls apart. With the footholds there, you can kind of hold them off from getting this wall early, and then you can play somebody kind of like your other flex support guy. You can castle them off as well, didn't? They can play in this hallway if this castle here is still closed, play in this hallway and help this player as needed. You're kind of gonna leave alone. You can have a roamer or a third person on site. I'd recommend only 1, 2 at max on site, but they can come in here, drop below, and then rotate either main or through small tower. And then if you need to fall back, you're gonna have your roamer from below, because you're gonna have 2, 3 above, 1 on site, and then either that second on site player become a roamer below, or just a 2-2-1 split, 2 up top, 2 holding the site, and then 1 roamer below. And then you can castle off this main wall, reinforce both of these walls in meeting so they don't easily get to the meeting area. But essentially, you got to hold top floor to deny the easy meeting walk-in, and then you're going to have your 1 to 2 on-site players playing this wall. If they get it, they can always fall back. These can be shot through them, but they do act as some decent cover for easy fights. These you can play behind, can't get shot through these, and then your floor, if you do lose up top, is hard, so not super easy to be shot through there. And you can also play stage from here. And then for kitchen, that's going to be mainly held by your people up top and above. Leave this open and cap something off, but you would prox alarm another place, barricade. You would prox alarm somewhere back here, so your players above can rotate back down if needed. Create a vault hole, so it makes noise for the attackers when they come in, rather than just crouching through something, which is fine for like inside rotates, but external rotates make vault holes, so you got some audible and it's not as easy for them to shoot you coming in. And then essentially you just play kitchen from above, and then if you lose above, collapse back to site, play trades, play passive. This site, if you can get them to funnel through with about 30 to 45 seconds, it's pretty easy. There's only not that many ways they can come from. If they're going to take meeting, they really got there. And then you're going to have your people above contest the main lobby or freezer side. So yeah, that's pretty much kitchen meeting. Small tower is the other option. Kitchen dining is the other option. I'll hit that real quick. It's pretty easy. You'd reinforce these walls, rotate into bathroom here, reinforce this wall, and then open up here so you can play an angle contesting there. And then you would hold it exactly the same. Players above contesting kitchen and being able to fall back onto white. The only difference is you wouldn't have the reinforcements or as much security over here protecting meeting, and you wouldn't reinforce the attic. It would be a much more consolidated hold above. You would typically give up attic and hold like kids' bedroom and bunk rather than a full upstairs hold. But that's the last 2 options for sites on Oregon. Alright, this is the Oregon top floor attack. This is the most popular bomb site, and this is where a lot of teams will go first. Most times, like I said, on defense, they're going to want to take this wall, and they're going to want to take attic control farther back that way. So for this wall, Typically ace is a little bit better because he can throw them in rather than coming in like this, hard breaching it with a thermite or somebody else. And then once you get that open, put pressure on this wall depending on how they set it up. If they have a attic player, you're going to want to take control from below. You're going to want to secure classroom, this 90, and then meeting. You can do this all by drone, and depending on how they have this played, either that open or closed, is going to determine a lot of how you play it. If they have it closed, once this is secure, you can start making your way up these stairs and holding the stairs while somebody is on armory, window, the rappel, putting pressure on this player. Once they get on this rappel, you're going to pinch them, get them out of there quick. That's a super strong position. If he holds there, like the angle on defense, he can pretty much hold the entire walk-in, uncontested, unless somebody's just cracked and swings them. And then moving back here, that's just for the main area. You're going to want to send 2 to 3 people. The majority of your pack is going to go that way. You're going to want to send one other player. This can be a Maverick. Typically can be a Maverick or a Sentry, or I think it's Sentry, whatever the recruit's called. Because he can hard breach and EMP walls all by himself. Put that pressure on attic. From here, once you have this pressure on attic, main wall has already probably been opened. If it hasn't, that's another thing you can do with main wall. You can go below panel and destroy any gadgets on the games wall. As long as you have somebody down here holding it for you and making sure you're safe. If you don't have a way to jammer there, don't have a way to EMP it, or for whatever reason you're out of EMPs, you can destroy gadgets on this main wall. You can't do that with armory, but that's why Maverick or Sentry is good for back there. Once you have this side of the map control, you're not all going to want to funnel through this area, because this attic player can still contest even though somebody's back there if he kills them. You can put some pressure on this attic player through this window here. Once you get both of these open, both the attic wall back here and this window open, the attic player is typically going to be forced off of this angle, because it's just he's going to have to win 2 1v2s. And once you have this all open, you can also contest them from here. And so that puts the attic player in a bind. They're going to have to fall back off that angle, because if he's swinging down there, not looking at you, and you're holding this, I mean, that's a free kill as soon as he swings. And so you're going to have 2 to 3 people of the attack come here. Once you have this open, one of the people can fall off here if there's only one back in attic. And then the last person can start applying pressure either big window or through white stairs. White stairs is usually pretty heavily barbed wire, trapped. They're going to know you're coming, but your job here is just to apply pressure and force crossfires. Like, you don't need to swing this bomb site player right here, get the kill, because you're probably not going to kill him. He's going to kill you. If you see, he can probably see my entire body, and I can see barely his arm and a little sliver of his head. And then either if you take white, you're just going to apply pressure as your team pushes in, either through the trophy or the games wall. Once you get the games wall open, and you move in for the default plant, which is right here, you're going to hold from trophy, the games reinforcement, and either white, oh, I'm lagging, oh boy, you can either hold from big window or white stairs, just forcing people to run into your crosshair. You don't need to swing and get over aggressive during the plant phase, because the defense is probably panicking, getting aggressive. And then that's pretty much it for the like a standard top floor attack. You're not gonna want to the big thing with this site is there's so many different angles. You're going to have to apply pressure from different sites. Like if you all funnel through games, you're not gonna win the attack. There's too many angles. They can have a person playing this kid's rotate, and then come right here and contest it from here, or have this player here. So you're gonna need to apply pressure from different angles, whether that be through closet games in the game's wall, armory, and then you can also open up this armory wall to get you a little bit better angle if you got the hard breaches, but not necessary at all. And then through attic to force the players out of their positions and just get yourself free kills. This is the top floor attack for basement on Oregon. So a big part of the Oregon attack, just to apply pressure immediately, will be to get both the meeting and the main lobby hatch. The freezer hatch is optional depending on if you want to take freezer or not, but you can always walk down freezer stairs and play that. The reason you get these hatches is to not necessarily drop, but to clear out the player playing an electric. Once you can get him off this reinforcement, you can easily force out and start putting more pressure onto bunker. You're gonna have to watch for pillar players, but you're gonna be having a much easier time fighting bunker rather than fighting bunker without somebody on the electric wall, rather than if there was somebody on it. Like I was saying, in the defensive portion, bunker is for people that are cracked out of their minds, but you do need to take bunker control. It's a vital part of the map in the defense down here. You can do this a few different ways. You may have forgot to make some feed holes. One, like I said before, you're gonna need to open that hatch, put some pressure, and then this really is kind of like a win your ones area. Once you get the gap, you're gonna have to push in and just get aggressive. Watch out for the player playing on elbow back here, and these reinforcements will be flipped. Watch out for the player playing on elbow here and overexposing yourself to here. So if you have flashbangs, any type of utility, you're going to need to bring this for this site just to burn ADSs or WAMIs that they may have. And then once you get that, you can either push into here. If they fall back, they're probably going to reinforce this wall here and completely give up bunker. You can reinforce that fully. From there, you can either open this wall if you have something to open it. If not, you're going to have to start putting pressure on the pillar, because that's where they're going to fall back to now. Once they're back in pillar, this is going to be kind of like the second layer of the defense, like we talked about in the defensive portion. Their freezer player will either completely fall off, if I can jump through, fall off into the hallway, or back here, or can even play up above. But once you've started to get that bunker control and you get them to reinforce that wall, that's when you're going to have to start forcing the player on pillar out. That can be done through above. You can flashbangs, like if I throw, it's not going to work. I can do this to kind of simulate it. Kind of a flashbang, and it could bounce. You get the trajectory right, it'll bounce right back into the backside of pillar, and then you can have your player come downstairs and play it here. They won't be exposed to this. Now if they do get overexposed and swing it wide like this, they're probably going to die from the player playing on that wall, watching the head holes. But that's just a part of with it. Like you come here, crouch here, and then you have somebody flashbang above. Flashbang there. And then you swing this pillar player. And then while you're swinging this pillar player, you've got your person in blue, or your person in bunker, peeking them from there. I mean, it's going to be a free kill, and he's going to have to fall off that angle, or you're going to just win it. Once you get the pillar player killed, you're going to push down tower stairs, and then you're gonna become the cutoff player. You from here, you're in probably the most powerful position on attack. You cut off Freezer, and you cut off one of their 2 rotates. Their only other rotate they have is through supply and laundry, and you cut off pretty much half of the site. Like, you saw him jump through, free kill right there, and then you don't even have to get up that aggressive. You can hold from back here far and just play a super safe angle and help your team. Once you get your pillar player in position, this will probably be hopefully within, you got 30 to 45 seconds left in the round. You can get everything going. I wouldn't even swing it this wide. You can hold it there, and then typically you'll probably have somebody dead by this point. If you don't, great. You can put a drone somewhere around here, and they can give you comms on that. Somebody swinging there, and that's when you can swing it wide. Once you've cleared that out, it's going to become kind of a run in there, and everybody's going to have to push, because they will C4, free kill, but you're going to have to play the trade here. I wouldn't run in directly behind them, but if for whatever reason we do get the plant down untouched, you can play a drone. You can put a drone on the bomb and then play it from above. You won't have a clear line of sight, but you can always drop if needed. If you've got an excess amount of, if you're in like a 4v2 or something, your pillar player can become aggressive and start taking up here and force out the player that's probably going to be playing behind the bomb chassis or in freezer. But if you don't, your pillar player can play safe. Realistically, all you need is to have 2 people right here, and then if you've got extra people, you want to put pressure either on main stairs or freezer. I personally think freezer is better, because once you come down freezer, you're no longer gonna have to worry about this freezer player. If he's still there holding this box angle, the round is probably already lost for them, because you can just walk into sight and take it. So once you get in here, you can take freezer, and you can let your pillar player know freezer is clear after you've droned it. Nobody's in freezer. Cut off their second rotate. Now they're all stuck in sight, and you can either push through the freezer door, or if that's a vault hole, vault through there and start coming up behind and clearing out the kills. That's pretty much all for basement. You can take freezer early off. You can take freezer early either through the hatch or through the stairs. It's just a lot harder to take due to, like, you only get this small amount of area, and they can play you from there, and even extend it to laundry stairs. If there's no threat of somebody pushing down or that hatch is open, they can extend it here and play there. But the main premise of this attack is to clear out the player playing an electric and the player playing an elbow, and then you're going to take control of bunker. Once you got control of bunker, you're going to take control of pillar. Once you got control of pillar, you're going to cut them off, and then your remaining players are going to put pressure onto them into your angles. Don't need to force a plant super early. If you can plant early, great. Your pillar player can fall back, or your other player can go above and play it from meeting. All right, this is the last attack for Oregon. Most teams will go kitchen dining. It's a little bit easier to hold, like, strategically, but I don't think it's as good as kitchen and meeting hall. So this wall here, muted, can't do anything with it. However, if you have a thermite, you can come above, and I don't know if it'll work with hardwood charges, but you can. Might be this wall, but you can open up the floor above it. I think with thermite it will actually work, but sentry you can still impact it, open this wall, no big deal. Yeah, you can thermite it and then open the top and then clear out any gadgets on this wall from above. The basic part of this push will be establish small tower control, whether that be opening this wall or or through clearing out bathroom and taking bathroom, because most times this will probably be castled. But if you can establish pressure on this player here, make him fall back, and then secure a small tower, you'll be in a good spot, because it's really easy to just walk in and plant in this site. Because they have no vertical. This is all small tower right here, so you can walk in pretty freely and plant if you get it open. But if for whatever reason you can't get it open and you're just getting overwhelmed, you're going to need to swap off, putting all pressure on there, and then clear out top floor of kids and dorms. This will be similar to like a top floor take, except you're probably not going to open up this wall unless you absolutely have to. Typically, you could probably take something from big window, and then probably can push that wall, and then put some pressure on attic either through that window or the attic wall to start forcing out these players. But either this wall, games wall, or attic wall to force out the players playing above, typically be 1 to 2, because they can hold here and drop pretty freely, and then come back down and play their long angles to help out their teammate in bathroom. But once you clear out people above, if you can't get small tower control, you're gonna then come back to small tower, because the people above either will be dead or back in sight. Once you have that top floor control, you can hold these stairs, just making sure nobody crosses here, or even through this window right here. Just don't want somebody to cross here freely. And then once you have that control, you should be a lot more free to put more pressure on this bathroom player if you weren't able to, because there's somebody playing this position here stopping you from getting there. But once you get this bathroom player killed, taken care of, you can open up this main wall, get into bathroom, it'll be free, and then you can hold the site. Like, you don't even see me because I'm diamond 1. You can hold there. This is the standard rotate on this right hand panel here. This may or may not be reinforced, really depends on the people you're playing. You can hold this here, hold their rotate. You can bring a nomad, gridlock, whatever, something to secure this hall, or just have your player on white hold that and cut off half of their rotates back into sight, and then walk in. And you can either try and get a plant on the bomb chassis, it's a little bit more cover, or if you have smokes and a bunch of utility to dump, you can plant here and then play it from above. And get on should be able to get on this rappel still out here to play it from above. You can't, unless you plant deeper into the site. But yeah, this site is pretty easy to attack. It can be taken apart really quickly. The main people you want to kill on this are bathroom player and any players playing above. If you can't, for whatever reason, kill the players playing above, get the guy off bathroom and hold this hallway, because somebody will either hold it from out here or inside. Somebody will peek this hallway, and it's a free kill. And then once you get the bathroom control, like I said, just cut off the rotate from main site, throw your utility, smokes, flashbangs, whatever, either plant on the bomb chassis or close to the reinforcement where you have a little bit of cover. That's pretty much all from the site. Don't attack I've never seen anybody attack from kitchen. Yeah, it's probably getting to depth and attack there, but then again, you open up a lot more angles, and it becomes like a meeting hold where they have crazy vertical control, and you got to dump in a lot of time for a part of the map that isn't in the site. So that's pretty much all for the kitchen dining take.